Well, it's been a morning of technical issues and difficulties, definitely from my side. Hello, everybody. Welcome to All Things West Ham, the show where we talk everything throughout the week, from the games, team selection, transfer news. Thank God that's been parked because that was getting quite stressful towards the end, and now we can focus on the football. Obviously, the two guests today, Bill from Garage Football and Dennis from the West Ham Way. Bill, first and foremost, how you doing, mate?
Yeah, fine, thanks. Buzzing about Thursday night and looking forward to the main night game tomorrow.
Absolutely. We'll get into that Europa League game very, very shortly. And Dennis, keeping well, mate? All things good?
Yeah, pretty good. Happy days. Very happy with Thursday night and shocking revelations in the news this morning.
Yeah, absolutely, definitely. We'll talk about Benny's injury. It is definitely a knot. We'll get into the permutations, etc., etc. Europa League, lads. It was all too easy, wasn't it? I don't want to speak too
It
soon,
wasn't as comfortable as you're making out.
Well, I mean, the game. You watched the game. I thought we were pretty much in control. It really impressed me, actually. I thought the way that we controlled the game at times, varied the game plan up. We expected a tough game away at Zagreb. Definitely the atmosphere probably would have played a little bit of a part, but the players really didn't look overawed. And I think just from a team performance, tactically, dealing with the elements of the Europa League first game of the campaign, I thought it was really spot on. Bill, what do you think about that, mate? Obviously, we've got 3 points. That's an important 3 points in this campaign. And obviously, we go on to Rapiviena at home now.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Yeah, I thought it was a really professional, perfect away performance really against, on paper, the toughest opposition in the group, away from home, and most likely our toughest game. And to play really well and keep them at arm's length and be in control from the first whistle for most of the game. They had a little bit of spell at the start of the second half before Declan scored the second goal. But no, to play the way we did, and the guys that come in making their first starts of the season, and some like Zouma, who will touch on making his debut, they played absolutely fantastic, all of them. So but the perfect start to our passage, and it sets up perfectly for the remaining 5 games.
Absolutely, and the fact that who's written what? Like,
look at the comments, mate.
No,
live chat.
We'll park it. We'll just forget he scored 4 goals in midweek.
Angus ain't on the show, so we'll wait. We'll wait for when Angus comes
on. It doesn't work otherwise. Come on, you're better than that. Dennis, we started off with a very, very strong team. Obviously, we discussed on Bill's channel possible permutations. We all had our own ideas on it, formation and team choice wise. Do you think Moyes got that right? It's easy in hindsight, isn't it, to look at it? But I was a person personally calling for rotation.
He certainly didn't get it wrong. Well. He certainly didn't get it wrong. Strangely enough, the only injury that came out of it was Benrahma, who came on, and that was only because Lanzini was about to do an Antonio. Could it have been wiser maybe to bring someone else on? I don't know, but ultimately, we now are potentially without Benny, but we didn't pick up any injuries to any of our other players. We rested. Dawson was dropped / rested. I mean, could have done with a rest. Wasn't particularly bad against Southampton. Ogbonna played the whole 90 minutes, so hopefully he's okay. It's also pretty good to see Masuaku back. That was a bit of a shock for me.
Yeah.
I was very surprised he was even on the bench, because I thought he was, from what I was reading on Twitter, that he was nowhere near the first team. But I think he said Mickey's red card on Sunday or Saturday helped us on Thursday, because if it wasn't for that, we probably would have started with Yarmolenko, and Yarmolenko is not getting that first goal.
Yeah, like that first goal really impressed me, actually. I think people may look at it and say, well, it was an error from the defender, and quite rightly so. But I think, we were pressuring them from the front where we needed to. He still anticipated the ball back, and he's obviously still finished it. And I thought Mickey's performance, maybe people can talk about, getting the goals or shots on target. I thought just generally his overall performance, holding the ball up, bringing others into play, was really positive.
Yeah, it's very good. Yeah, as you say, led the line brilliantly, and probably a blessing that he did get sent off against Southampton. But he took his goal well. Anticipation was spot on. Press from the front, especially in the first half, and led the line brilliantly. So one of the top performers on the night.
Yeah. There's no such thing as the West Ham way. All right, Sam. You had your time at the club. Right? I do rate that. To be fair, I do rate it. Now let's talk about. I think the way. Look, I mean, particularly against Southampton. Obviously, me and Bill went to the game if you didn't already know. They were able to play really compact at times when we had possession. And I think, again, we are going to come across teams this season where West Ham are going to have to break them down. And we've shown a little bit in games against Newcastle. You play the fullbacks forward. What really impressed me in this game was how West Ham were trying to vary it up, particularly with the use of Ryan Fredericks. Now, normally West Ham get into the final third and Fredericks, and then our fullbacks will start to make movement. But Fredericks' movement off the ball going forward was causing them absolute nightmares. Bill, Fredericks is a player that's, again, a little bit in the background, but to be fair to him, every time he has come on and played in that right-back position, he's always done a decent job.
Yeah, the first couple of seasons at the club, he was a bit inconsistent. But last season when he did play, and when he came in on Thursday night, I thought he was outstanding. It was his first start of the season, and what we know about his pace, but used it to great effect. And obviously, Zagreb, they played a wing-back system, so there was always space for him to run into. Easy could have scored in the first half as well, but defensively, I thought he was very switched on as well, which is not always the case with Fredericks. But when Issa made a couple of mistakes in the first half, he got back. There was some brilliant slide challenges. Me and Dennis did a watch on my channel, and we were basically like cheering, love with a company slide challenge, cheering like as if we scored a goal. They were really important. So I thought we played. I thought he was outstanding. I thought.
Dennis, echo those thoughts?
Yeah, pretty much. As I said, going forward, if he was a bit more of a clinical finisher, could have put us 2-0 up early doors. Very, very, impressed me. Is he better than Kufal? Absolutely not. But in that type of game, he suited a bit better, and it gave Kufal a very needed rest. I mean, Kufal played virtually every game for us last season after signing. He, there's your mate. And then. So I'm pretty happy with that. And Diop has a mistake in him, but Fredericks was there to gobble that up, which was pretty good. Good covering. And obviously go on a bit of a tangent thing. So I just want to get it out of the way. I thought Kurt Zouma was bloody solid at the back and should be starting every game from now on. Personally,
no, it's brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
He just won every single duel. Like every single duel, he was absolutely spot on. Obviously, we know he's dominant in the air, but again, a physical presence. And what we didn't really see in that game was what a lot of Chelsea fans have spoken about. It's the recovery pace that he has as well in his locker. And I'm sure we'll see that on Sunday. Dennis, you obviously alluded to it. But Bill, for me, I think it's time he has to start. Obviously, he's got the ability. He is an upgrade on Craig Dawson. And in multiple different facets, you know what I mean? Winning in the air, he's quicker. He reads the game a bit better. Is he a nailed-on starter for you if you had your pick?
100%. No doubt about it. He was outstanding. Obviously he's played in a lot of the Europa League and Champions League games for Chelsea, and he's used to that kind of environment. And he marshaled the defence well. I think there was a couple of times where there was a couple of players down for injury, or substitutions were being made, and the camera panned to him, and he was talking to Diop and these other defenders. So his communication skills are really good to see. So he led the line brilliantly, and it was no surprise that Zouma was trending on Twitter, and every other picture was like a brick wall, because like Kurt Zouma today, brick wall, and he was solid. He was brilliant.
Yeah, and Zagreb's main, well, from my understanding, their main threat is their two strikers they play with, Orsic and Petkovic. Who literally was that guy that's good on Football Manager, was what I was calling on Thursday, because that's what I know him as. He's good on Football Manager. And he did well to shut up shop. And, we could go to 3 at the back. There's a comment further up. Could go to 3 at the back on Sunday, purely because, we lose Benrahma and Antonio. We've got to play people up top that would normally play on the wings. Yeah, so maybe an idea
I've still got to do my preview. It's a bit of a conundrum actually in terms of what Moyes might pluck for. So it's definitely a talking point. I just want to highlight what Tony said in a kind of backhanded compliment way. He's a poor man's version of Kyle Walker, but it is true. You see it in the Euros. Obviously, Walker's recovery pace is hugely important.
I remember his first game he played for us, Arsenal away, 18-19 season. He did a recovery tackle on somebody. I don't know who. I remember saying like that. Kyle Walker-esque almost. He's got some speed and technical ability. It's just that, positionally, that's what's always let him down, sadly.
you know what?
So the guy is pretty bang on the money.
I want to quickly pull it up actually because I remember when Fredericks obviously come into the club and he always used to do this and it used to literally wind me up so much. He'd turn his back on the player that was running at him and he used to frustrate me. And I think it's almost he wants to make it a foot race all the time because he backs himself. And that's fair enough. But on a few occasions where Orsic has faced him up, his body position's a lot better. Like he's just, they're just little minor details I think that he needs. Yes, he can lack quality going forward. But I think in this type of game, just the sort of willingness to make the run and stretch them a little bit, that's more than enough. And there's been a few occasions. I'm getting too excited about Fredericks.
No, it's true though because it was always an outlet, and even if he wasn't picked out, he would drag a defender across and create space for his fellow midfielders.
That's what I think we need. Sometimes with West Ham, and I understand we are a bit conservative in building the play, but sometimes you just need runners off the ball. And I thought some of the fullback runs, particularly Fredericks, some of the front four runs at times, even from when we had the ball at centre back, just making them think a little bit and trying to drag them out. I thought that impresses me because I think we are as a side developing. And again, we're going to come across these problems where we're going to have to break teams down and we're going to have to show it. So I was just really impressed, boys. I really, really was. I think there were some good performances in there. Declan Rice was outstanding. Anyone want to take the lead on the goal that he scored?
Oh. Yeah. I thought it was. I said it to Dennis on our watch along. It was very similar to when he scored against Southampton on the last day of the season just gone. Just ran from the left, had options, but went on his own, and nice finish. And shows that he can run forward, but also shoot as well, which some people still can't believe he does. And I just quickly, sorry, Dennis, that it makes me even laugh even more because Newcastle obviously played. We watched them last night, and this ridiculous comparison, him and was it Matty Longstaff or Sean Longstaff, that comparison from a couple of seasons ago just makes me laugh. It makes me laugh even more so after last night.
Don't even go there. It's like it's the disrespect of. I mean, look, Dennis put it on his Instagram, and I thought quite rightly so. It annoys me, but Dennis, you said just undervalue him because we don't care because he's that good. We want him to stay for as long as possible.
If you only want to bid 60 million for him, do it. We'll reject it, and he'll stay.
No, I know that's what makes me laugh when they go, but you won't get your money. I don't care. He's genuinely
again. This is simple. And again, a mate of mine, that Liverpool fan. I have to really slow it down very slowly. We don't want to sell, which is why we ask for more money. Because he was saying, but no one will bid 100 million. That's the point.
It's a simple concept, though, that fans just
get your fingers out and start counting. You know, it was a bit like that scene in Blackadder with trying to teach Baldry how to count 4 beans. It was like that scene. Like, come on, you think he's worth 60, so that's why we ask for 100. Compromise might be 85 when the time's right to sell in that situation. I don't know, but that's the reason why we ask for it. But with the goal, as well, it's also the fact that he did so well to win the ball and then battle against the player that lost the ball. Yeah. Literally leave him, shrug him off. He has a take on against the centre back, and before the centre back can even get near him, he's halfway past him at the point where if the centre back lunges in, it's a penalty. So the centre back backs off, and then he just buries it because he passed it backwards into the goal. I don't know how, but somehow he ran backwards and passed it backwards, and we scored. So
yeah, I love that comment, by the way, Charles. Pass it sideways into the back of the net. It all counts. The thing is, it's just his value's only improving. He genuinely is. And do you know what's been really interesting? I'm sure Bill and Dennis will back me up on this. When you watch him play as well in real life, he just seems even better. Like the things he does off the ball. And I think that goal kind of it exemplifies his development, but it exemplifies what he's about in terms of reading the game, winning it, the physicality to again deal with the centre back. And I think this season, when he gets to those positions, he's not losing, he's not gassing out, or he's not panicking. He's genuinely got the composure. So I think as a midfielder, albeit I think he's fantastic defensively, he's becoming so well-rounded, and he's only 22 years old. And we've got him for this season when we are in the Europa, we are against tough teams, and he's just a class above. And I thought some of those players the other night were a class above.
Yeah, just breezed throughout the game. It made it look easy, which obviously it weren't an easy game.
You're welcome.
It was just class above, and shows that Rice and Souček is not only one of the better partnerships in the Prem, but I'd like to think certainly in this group it's probably the best in the group, and I think better than a lot of teams in the Europa League.
Yeah, Yeah. Great comment, Tony, as well. Only sideways and backwards. We'll leave it there because I'll tell you what, we could have another video getting the Ump About fans talking about Declan. Like Dennis says, let them do it. Let them do it all day. So obviously we get the 3 points, fantastic, and that's a really good start to our Europa League campaign. Now, this morning, we ain't talking about Frank Lampard, Leslie. You can get in the bin with that one. We'll leave that.
She's got the fishing rod out today. She's got the fishing rod. She's in one of her moods.
Frank Lampard Senior, we'll talk about. No problem.
Yeah, we'll talk about Frank Lampard Senior. Dad will know all
we'll
about
sing about Fat Frank. Don't worry. Now look, this morning we definitely will. This morning, I'll get to it. The injury news of Said Benrahma. Now I don't know the extent to how this will affect team selection. I think it's legit from that sense, but we've seen knocks. Rafinha come in for Leeds the other day, and they said he had a knock and he started yesterday. So there may be a possibility of him starting on Sunday. Bill, how much of a concern is that for you going into this Manchester United game? We know the emphasis on those attacking midfield four and whoever's going to be in the false nine. Does that affect your opinion on whether West Ham can get a result on Sunday without Said Benrahma?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's compounded with Antonio's unavailability, but yeah, as you say, I mean, Moyes said, it's a knock, but whether it's serious enough for him to miss out on Sunday, also we'll find out. We'll find out tomorrow, won't we? So yeah, I think if he's not in the squad, I think it'd be a blow because obviously he's been in good form, and I think when he come on for Lanzini in the second half on Thursday night, I think he looked a bit leggy as we saw in Southampton, like a lot of players, but he looked bright, taking on players, and held the ball well to towards the end as well when we're sort of just shutting out the game, game management and all that. But yeah, it'd be a shame if he is unable to play. But yeah, would it change our formation? I think possibly. But I still think even if he's not available, I still think we've got enough players on show to get a result.
Yeah, and I think it's important. I know it's disappointing with Benny if he is on the bench or if he's not in the squad. But some players, particularly Jarrod Bowen, I know he played 20 minutes. He's going to come into that game fresh. I think we're going to need him in that counter. I think Vlasic coming off as well. I didn't kind of a mixed bag in terms of the game, but again, just adapting. I think we probably played it right in terms of those attacking midfielders. Dennis, let's talk about formations because you come up with one against Zagreb. So let's talk about Manchester United. If you were David Moyes and Benny's not playing and Antonio's not playing, how would you adapt that first team tomorrow?
It's tough. I mean, if I had youth strikers on the bench, I might stick with the old 4-4-5-1 or 4-2-3-1, whatever you want to call it, and either have Vlasic on his own up top as a pressing forward, or do the dangerous choice of playing Yarmolenko up top. But equally, we could also to try and counteract their attacking presence, because look, they're stacked in attack. I mean, Greenwood's on fire right now. Let's not kid ourselves. Greenwood's in top form. Ronaldo's come back with a point to prove and has scored 3 goals in 2 games, and it's similar red hot form to Mickey, and let's be fair, he is bloody Ronaldo. Sancho not had the best start, but he is still a quality footballer and the type of player that we probably hate playing against. So for that, I'm going to go typical Dennis and say 3 at the back for this game. Cresswell would have to by default play left wing back because there's no point, unless you're going to play him as a left centre back.
You're going to play back 5,
yeah? Drop Dawson completely and have him as a left back centre back, or you can play Dawson alongside Ugbonna and Zouma. I'd put Ben Johnson left wing back because he's good going forward. But I think that's what we might do with 2 up top of maybe Bowen and Vlasic, because I think Vlasic can play up top, but I've never seen it, so I'm not going to be convinced till I see it. And I'm still not convinced with the Bowen experiment playing up top. He just doesn't quite have the pace that we need in this formation. But he's also still light years quicker than Yarmolenko. So I think he might go 3 at the back. With 3 at the back with Rice, Soucek, and Fornells in the middle with Vlasic and Bowen up top, but then it doesn't leave an awful lot on the bench, sadly.
So you're going 3-4-1-2 with 2 up top. That'd be interesting. I'd like to see that. Bill, formation time. What would you pluck for in this game? And by the way, just quickly, Dennis is right about this game tomorrow. We don't know what this false 9 situation is going to look like, and we'll have a much better idea come the end of that game whether it works, whether it doesn't. I think one of the kind of decisions if we do play 4-2-3-1 in terms of that false nine, is probably either Bowen or Vlasic. Do you agree with either or would you change the formation and try and change it up a little bit?
Yeah, I think Wolves, how they didn't beat Man United before the international break, or if you got a draw, it was crazy amount of chance they had. And obviously Wolves, they play a three at the back. Even under new manager, they still play that. Obviously, they played that a lot under Nuno Espirito Santo. But also they created a lot of chances on the counter of playing the wing back system. So I wouldn't be against this changing things around. Obviously, United are stacked in the forward areas, as Dennis has said. But obviously we've got good players going forward as well. And the thing about what Wolves and Southampton and even Newcastle to a certain extent last week, they exposed United on the counter because they push obviously Wan-Bissaka and Shaw forward. Maguire's quick, obviously Varane is rapid, but Maguire's not the quickest. And you got Fred as or McTominay as your holding midfielder or Matic or whatever. That's something that West Ham could exploit. So I think I wouldn't be against us switching up and playing the wing backs.
Yeah, interesting. Look, I mean, the kind of the alternative is that 4-2-3-1, right? And then you're talking about who plays in the 10, which will probably be Lanzini. I think in this game, either whatever formation, we're going to have to sit deep. And I know for the past 4 games or so, West Ham have tried to play on the front foot a little bit. I would like to see it. And I know there's a frustration a little bit against these big teams of West Ham being too negative. But I do think you play into Manchester United's hands when you give them too much space. And I think if us being a little bit more compact, whether we're a back 4 or back 5, is absolutely spot on. Bill, you're bang on about the defensive midfielder. I think Matic lacks mobility, and even some of his passing was off against Newcastle. I think Fred, and this is such a shame if we had Antonio, because we haven't really seen him against Manchester United. If we had that attacking 4 against the likes of Fred, and they play 4-3-3, we'd rip them to shreds. That's really where Wolves got a lot of their joy. Yeah. I think United will play against us. I think they'll go 4-2-3-1. And I think they'll drop Pogba a little bit deeper. So there's still the opportunity there because Pogba's not going to be playing in that defensive position. I imagine United are going to have a fair bit of the ball. And then it's just about breaking. But I'm definitely not mad at having wing-backs and a front 3 and going Vlasic possibly as your number 9. Fornals on the left and Bowen on the right. And just keep that compact and just try and hurt them on the counter. Because I think there's enough pace there. Varane's a problem. Don't get me wrong. He's very good. He reads it very well. He covers for Maguire. But you overload that kind of middle area, maybe they can't deal with it. But we've got to take our chances at the end of the day and hopefully just frustrate them. Because I think United struggle. If we play a low block, United struggle against it. Let's be honest, they struggle to break it down.
Daniela's just put that in the chat. Agreed. Yeah, and as we said, Southampton, Newcastle, they're not the best sides, but even they create chances in their games, and Wolves have been really unlucky. So United are. They're open. They are there to be, and obviously they lost in the Champions League to young boys in the week, so they can be exposed.
Yeah, and obviously there's a certain player coming back. Not Ronaldo, by the way, Sky. I don't want to talk about him. Yeah, we know he's back at Man United. It's Jesse Lingard will be back. I know he had a bit of a moment in midweek. All I'd say, it wouldn't happen at West Ham, that's for sure. Lads, what's the response to Jesse when he turns up tomorrow? Because I'd like to see a positive response, to be fair. I think the impact that he had at West Ham towards the end of last season was absolutely fantastic. And I think he deserves that. I know it's frustrating he's not in a West Ham shirt, but definitely deserves some respect tomorrow for me.
Yeah, I mean, if he does the Irons thing and stuff like that, people say, "Oh, but I don't think he will. I don't think he has any." Again, in the real world, he's a United boy. He grew up a United fan. He grew up a United youth player. He grew up idolising Paul Scholes. He's always wanted to play for Manchester United. He came on loan to us. He did a job, and he got himself. If it wasn't for that loan, he probably would have been flogged for not a lot of money this summer, and fans would have probably been kicking off if we had signed him if we hadn't got him on loan. Like fans were a bit like, "Oh, Jesse Lingard, what's the point when we did sign him?" I don't think the people saying, "Oh, I'll only clap him if he does the Hammers sign." He's not going to do the Hammers sign. He's not. There's a big difference between him and a Ferdinand or a Cole returning because they're West Ham boys. Now, I think we should give him a clap, definitely, but don't get annoyed, don't get vexed if he does the bloody Irons thing because he has no loyalty to West Ham and their fans. Like, as harsh and stupid as that sounds, he we shouldn't be, people on Twitter shouldn't be expecting him to be like, oh yeah, I love West Ham. Yeah. I'm like, he played for us a bit, did well, got himself back in the reckoning.
I don't even think it's harsh. He doesn't necessarily owe us anything. He gave us a lot in terms of what he did on the pitch, and that was the important thing. I think, to be honest, the principal reason why he's not at West Ham is because of that Manchester United connection. For me, it can't be a football reason, because he's not getting in for me over, Pogba or Fernandes. It's purely because he's got such an affinity with that club that he wants to be there.
Yeah, there's that picture going around with him next to Cristiano Ronaldo when he was younger and stuff. So yeah, I think obviously Lingard played a massive role in us finishing sixth last season, and that should be the forefront of people's minds. So if he gets jeered or whatever, that'd be fucking ridiculous, in my opinion.
Yeah, people need to sort themselves out if that happens. Although I'm not going to be happy if he does score against us. I think, mate, knowing Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's incredible tactical brain, he'll just bring him on because he thinks that he's going to get one over West Ham.
Yeah.
So I'll keep my eye out. Now the other one, Ronaldo. Obviously, Sky have been sort of beating this to death.
Wait, Ronaldo plays for Man United?
Yeah, well, it's mad actually, because I didn't know until the other day, and then you see it for about.
I didn't know until Man United tweeted it for the 100 millionth time. Like I remember, on the day of the Newcastle game, they'd signed, sealed, delivered, like him signing the contract. I was like, he did that 2 weeks ago, man.
Oh yeah, man. They got to milk it, mate. They got to milk it for all it's worth.
No, milked it so the cows come home.
They milked it so much they now have to have almond milk because there is no more milk from the cow. That's how much they've milked it.
Yeah. But yeah, go on, mate. Sorry.
Just bang on what Tony said. Yeah.
Lingard won't start. He deserves some respect. Let's not go. Yeah, bang on. That's it. That's all I can say. It's actually mad, Charles. We haven't really spoken about it. But by the way, to everyone watching, we did actually go to Southampton the other day. It was nuts, man. It was nuts. Birth of the Pablo 4-0 song.
Yeah, the game wasn't nuts, though.
The first away day, and it's a 0-0. So.
Typical, isn't it?
Yeah, you couldn't write it.
At least the Yanks in Southampton was quality, though.
Yeah, it's all right. Yeah, we know that, Bill. Yeah. The Ronaldo, obviously he's back, and let's not talk about the PR stuff because that is really frustrating. But I've watched the Newcastle game back, and it's interesting to see the role that he's now taken up at Manchester United as the number 9. I thought he would be more of a prominent number 9 on the shoulder. But that movement between him and Fernandes at times, where Fernandes will go in beyond and then he'll drop deep, he's moving off that position. Now, that does give West Ham something to think about. Lads, particularly Dennis, is this the reason why Dawson shouldn't start? Because the movement of Ronaldo, of Craig Dawson, is something that gives me nightmares. I won't sleep tonight if that's the case.
I mean, at the same time, you just know that Dawson's going to go full on Thanos and just stop him if he does play. Dawson's going to have going to become prime Maldini for 90 minutes. It's in the script, isn't it? But that is exactly why I'm motioning to drop Dawson for this one, because Zouma is a much better centre back. But at the same time, there is that little part of me that just thinks I want to see it. There's if it was any other club, I'd be loving Dawson versus Ronaldo. Just that'd just be hilarious. Complete compromising style, complete incompatible styles. It's not like Dawson is an old school centre back against Ronaldo. But no, I think we need to drop. No disrespect to Dawson. He's coming. He's done a good job. He's done better than people think he is. But he isn't that good a centre back. He's a decent Premier League centre back. He had an absolute mare against Palace at home, and I am a little bit worried about this United side against Dawson. Bear in mind, the only time he's played for us against Man United, he scored an own goal.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Conveniently, it just tends to happen, doesn't it? With Dawson, he'll have a great game and a bad game and an own goal. Bill, I'm just playing devil's advocate, so don't get the ump too much. But if he played in a back 3, for example, and he played with Ogbonna and Zouma, would you be comfortable with that?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't play him, but it depends where you play him, because I wouldn't play Dawson on the right as a right centre back, because that's where Ronaldo drifts, and as he scored his second goal, where you put in a really good run on the drifted out wide. He's still got that little bit turn of pace. So you'd play Zouma then. If you do decide to play Dawson, you play him as the middle centre back, I'd say.
Yeah, and another point as well to that left-hand side of Man United, not only have you got Ronaldo coming over there, Sancho may pop over there at times, but Luke Shaw as well, probably their most creative player, even though he's a left-back. He can play those inverted runs, he can come on the outside, he's got great delivery. for me, he's a problem. He's a big problem. I think we talk about Ronaldo, and we know that if he's in front of goal, invariably he'll score. But trying to nullify that threat, particularly from Shaw, it is an issue. So maybe that's why you play with wing backs, to just double up on that right hand side.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, exactly.
Guys, a huge hypothetical, but who would be your favourite team to play in the Europa? Oh yeah, we'll do this one. It sounds like a good little segue. Dennis, go on.
I'm torn because for the experience, Frankfurt, but team that I want to play, I'll be dreading it, but I'd love to play Marseille.
I'd love to play
Marseille.
God dear me,
Marseille. I love watching us versus Marseille, mate. But I know we get battered with Frankfurt. I fancy us, and we get to go out to Germany and have a load of Pilsner. So,
it was a plus. Bill, what do you think about this one? Is it for either Lazio or maybe something a little bit different?
Yeah, Lazio, Celtic, Monaco.
Ooh, Monaco.
But obviously, it depends where we finish. Because if we finish second, then we play the third place team from the Champions League. So if we win the group, obviously we're straight into the.
Could play Man United.
Can we play Man United? Can we play Man United if they're an English team? And
in the knockout stage you can play English teams because United played Liverpool in like the 15-16 season when United dropped out of the Champions League into Europa, and they got them in like the first or second knockout round. You go straight in and play an all English team. There is one other team only for the obscureness of it, Betis, because then you could have Moyes versus Pellegrini.
Yeah, that'd be.
Yeah, and Betis were pretty bloody good against Celtic, leaky defensively, but that was a pretty good game.
And Betis is obviously that's in Seville, and Seville's a lovely place.
Oh yeah.
Only bit of Spain. I would like. Part of me thinks like a Rangers or a Celtic, just for the kind of atmosphere. No. What do you mean, Dennis?
I think I'm going to get stuff thrown at me. I think Celtic and Rangers are the most overhyped stuff. I've been to a Celtic game. It was all right.
Yeah, but who they playing though?
St Mirren.
Can't remember. I think it was Motherwell.
Yeah, exactly.
Right,
I think an old firm.
Yeah, if you go to Old Firm, but that's a bit like saying, West Ham atmosphere isn't the same until you play Millwall,
Yeah, but the quality of the football will be better than.
Yeah. I mean the day out. Like I went to go watch Celtic. I've been to go watch Celtic play. I'm like, it's all right, but it's just I just think it's very overhyped by people just because it's an all British sort of thing, and it's they're our neighbours to the north.
But Glasgow's meant to be quality for nights out and stuff, so that's probably something.
I'm an Edinburgh man.
Mate.
Maybe I'm an Edinburgh man. That's what it is.
Probably. Same Hearts and Hibs are not in this competition.
They're miles off, but no, it's more just I just don't like. If you like that, that's great. I just don't get why people go, I'd love to play Rangers for Celtic. I was like, I'm playing. If we're going Europe, I want to go to play the big European teams that are in Europe. For a fantasy away thing, rather than bloody Celtic or Scotland that are playing championship level football.
I'd like a. I know you say about Frankfurt. I'd like a Leverkusen or something.
Like
a massive German team. Marseille's a big one because Marseille are a big side. I know they're not great.
PSV.
They're in the Champions League, I think.
God, can you imagine if Ajax dropped out of their...
No. Sorry, yeah, that's fine.
Imagine if Ajax dropped out of their group. And then we ended up playing our We're near the end of it, mate. We're near the end of it. Can you imagine?
Mate, I'll be turning up to the watch along in the Bob Marley Ajax shirt with Haller 22 on the back.
Mate, you make me sick. You're one of them people. We'll lose. He'll score, and you'll just pull off your West Ham and end up with the Ajax.
For real. When I got when I got my I got the away shirt for the 1920 season because it was like a proper throwback to the 80 FA Cup final. I'll be honest, this was just after the Watford game. Just after the Norwich game. So he scored 3 and 2, and I was so adamant that with Haller we'd got our decent striker. And I think at the time a lot of West Ham fans were. I was this close to getting Haller 22 on the back, but I thought no.
I reckon you run.
I've made this mistake before with Andy Carroll. Let's wait until I said, give it a season. If he's still banging him in at the end of the season, then you get him on the back. And I was wise to wait.
Yeah, you were, mate.
I'm pretty cursed with names and numbers on the back. David Connolly left at the end of the year. Andy Carroll injured all the time. So
just get your own name next time.
Yeah. Big Dennis on the back. Dennis won.
The big Denboski. The big Denboski. That's what it will be.
Dennis
No, I do have my name on the back of two kits, but one's a Watford kit, and my dad bought it for me. And I still don't know why, but he did. And when we were in Hull, mates chipped in and bought a Hull City shirt with my name and number on the back just for a wind up.
Oh, don't
So
forget your Derby, Sergio Ramos.
You've still got the Derby one.
I've got the Derby one, Sergio Ramos 4 on the back, but we are not explaining that backstory on air.
I'd rather do that. I'd rather do that than teetering very close to the Allaire conversation. I just get a throwback to discussing how am I going to try and play this one off? I want to talk quickly just about the rule change. I think this does apply to the Europa League. I think they've scrapped the away goals. Am I correct?
They've scrapped away goals in knockout rounds, mate. Yeah.
How do you
in
think
European
that
competition?
How do you think that affects the whole thing? Because I
don't like it.
Okay.
I don't like it.
It would help us massively because I can see West Ham going away, getting a 1-0 somewhere, and then coming back and
where it doesn't help us or not. I just don't like it because for me, I've grown up with that. That's how football works. I think that's how it should be.
Yeah,
but
I like the idea.
I'm also of the belief that the champions only go in the Champions League and the cup winners only go in the UEFA Cup. Personally. So I would rule West Ham out of the UEFA Cup or Europa League if it's up to me. Oh, and it'd be renamed UEFA Cup. It won't be the Europa League. That's a silly name. This is me being old man Dennis here.
Yeah, I think the problem with getting rid of the away goals is that it does change the dynamic as such. Like it does give teams that are coming up or lower quality teams coming up against the higher quality teams that gives them an opportunity there to go and fight for something. Whereas when it's on an even kilter, it does become very difficult. And I think the bigger teams or the teams with a bigger squads will feel relatively comfortable and safe as well, even if the other side does get a goal. So I think that affects things. But Bill, do you think from West Ham's point of view, because the quality on show the other night are genuinely impressive, and we will come across higher quality teams eventually, do you think that really affects us too much? Because I thought the way we played shows that we're serious about this competition, and maybe we are in fact one of the bigger sides.
Yeah, I think if as shown, if we put our first 11 or as close to first 11 out every Europa League game, I think we'll give a run for anyone in this competition. But I think the away goal rules brought in decades ago to encourage away sides to obviously attack and score, whereas now, last few years, it's more the home sides are scared to attack now because of the rule. So that might be why they've got rid of it. But I did like the away goal, Rob. I'm not too vexed about it being removed. I think it's something different. So everyone's got to adapt to get used to it.
I mean, I went on a rant, but it doesn't mean that much to me. But it's just I just don't like it. I'd rather it stay as it is. And to finish off Leslie's reference there, I wanted to chat, but I didn't want to cut across you, Bill. But what button?
secret red button you got on the desk.
It's a Simpsons reference.
Of course it was.
Yeah, exactly. Tomorrow, just to clarify, everyone, in case you got pulled off on that tangent, we are playing Manchester United, so I am going to talk to both of these lads about their score predictions.
Who's playing up front for United tomorrow?
I can't remember.
Cavani, in it?
No, there's this Portuguese geezer. I can't remember his name.
Bebe.
Yeah, might be him, mate.
Diego Forlan, mate.
Diego Forlan's really underrated, I think. I thought he was quality.
Was when he left.
Was it great at United, though?
Yeah, good point. Anyway, score predictions. Dennis, what are you saying for tomorrow, mate?
I don't know.
Come on, you can't come on here and give it a don't know fence job. Come on, you're better than this.
That's not like Dennis.
4-3 Man United.
Oh, wow.
Yarmolenko hat-trick.
I don't know. Open game, plenty of goals. 2-2, I think.
2-2. I'm going to go... I fancy West Ham 1-0. I don't know.
Mate, I'll settle for that.
No, I probably... by the way, if anyone's watching this, I probably won't say it on the preview. I'll just say 1 and we'll just keep it safe. But I just got a feeling that we'll...
You fancy us to keep a clean sheet?
I fancy us to pull something off in this game. I genuinely do. I think Man United on the counter. I think Wolves weren't clinical enough. I think West Ham have got enough in terms of being clinical. I know sometimes maybe we lack a bit of composure, but you've got to look at some of our attacking players. And I think the way that we attack in numbers, overwhelm them. I think we'll nick something. And I think set pieces as well could be a big thing for West Ham. If we've got Zouma in the side as well, again, that's something that we can utilise. So I think we've got multiple ways, but it will depend how we start the game. If we start how we want to and build possession up and give them too much space, then it's going to be problematic. But if we are conservative and that's our game plan and we work to it, then there's no reason why we can't get something, particularly if they've got Fred in midfield. Jones says he's 36, he'll be knackered tomorrow, the man who won't be named. The man who won't be named, don't know who he is. Let's just forget about it.
He who must not be named. He is the Voldemort of football.
Oh God, yeah. Let's park him. Let's forget about him. Lads, I really enjoyed that one. That was a good laugh. We went through everything there. Europa League performances, Benny's injury, how it affects things, Manchester United, and
Haller was mentioned again.
Oh yeah, I don't really know what we were talking about for the last 10 minutes. Just kind of just went along with it.
Just chatting shit, mate. It's what we do best.
Rubbish, like we love to do. So, with that being said, drop a like on the video if you did enjoy this. This will be back next week. Hopefully, we can pull Charles in. He's somewhere. He was lurking in the comments a minute ago. He should have come on, mate.
He's fetching Tarquin from the M1.
He's getting an early takeaway.
He's stocking up his water in the fridge, isn't he? All the Fiji water and the lovely stuff. He's popped down to M&S to go and get it.
Buxton is basically swamp water to him.
Yeah, he won't touch
canal water.
He won't touch it.
No.
Don't give me that.
Oh dear.
But anyway, we'll try and get a couple more of the lads on in the following week. We're going to do a preview for Manchester United, just breaking down pretty much what we've said, but in terms of team selection, what I want to see from West Ham and where the key threats and key strengths are. Going to do a post-match when I come back from Manchester United. And then, of course, we've got Leeds United next week. But we'll have loads more time next week. So this will probably be back on a midday. And then the preview will be out on the Thursday or the Friday. Take care, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your week. And Tottenham get battered everywhere they go.